This film is a hell of a conundrum. Now, if you watch my channel, you'll know that I love Gareth Evans, especially the Raid 1. I love the Raid 2 as well, but it's not as good as the Raid 1. And then after that, Gangs of London Season 1 is really good, especially the episodes that he specifically directed. So I'm a huge Gareth Evans fan. So I was really looking forward to this film that seems like nearly 6 years in the making. Probably is about 6 years in the making. Now, the first thing I have to say about this film is, on my channel, on Bad Movie Fights versus Good Movie Fights, I have a really specific rule. That rule is no guns allowed. This film is the reason why I have that rule. There's too many gun battles. They're so quick. They're so fierce. They're over in seconds. You can't see what's going on. And guns cut people apart. And this film really shows you that guns cut people apart. Now, there's some moments in this film where the gunplay is a bit unrealistic and characters are surviving gunshots that should really tear them into shreds. But maybe I've jumped ahead of myself a little bit here, because let's just talk about the cast. We have Tom Hardy and Forrest Whitaker, and then some other people. Now, what I really have to praise about this film is the fact that this film was shot, I believe, in Wales. Now, if you don't know where Wales is, it's right here. And Wales is not a place known for filmmaking. The fact that they've made it look like America, a nondescript part of America, it must be said, because they don't actually mention where they're from, is a miracle. This movie, and I'm not trying to be derogative, but this movie is Gangs of London, the movie. That may sound a little bit derogative, and I guess in a way it kind of is. I found the plot really convoluted yet again on a Gareth Evans movie. I didn't find it very compelling. And for 25 minutes of this film, I was like, where is this going? Eventually, we find out where the film is going. No spoilers. But when we find out where it's going, it does amp up a little bit. And then we get to the 50-minute mark, where this is one of the great action sequences I've seen in the past few years. This rivals a lot of the stuff that Evans has done in The Raid. An incredible first hand-to-hand combat fight with some weapons involved, much like a typical Gareth Evans movie. Then we have some guns towards the end, and it gets a little bit silly again, but it holds off a little bit, enough restraint there. It holds off. But the sequence is absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's set in a club, so there's crunching fights, there's pumping music, there's great hand-to-hand combat, there's things breaking, there's people falling, there's bones breaking, there's people getting chopped up with knives and hatchets. And then, of course, we have the guns again, which, is kind of disappointing, but incredible sequence. It must last for about 10 minutes, and it's absolutely edge of your seat, nail-biting stuff. I really wish this sequence replaced the beginning sequence, which is a car chase. I'm not giving away any spoilers here. It's a car chase which starts off the film, which is not very compelling, to be honest with you. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's not very compelling because we don't know who the characters are, we don't know who anyone is, and therefore we have no side to pick. I really wish this scene that happens 15 minutes in would happen at 1 minute in, and then I would be set up for the rest of the film. In fact, I don't see why the film couldn't have started there, quite frankly, and then worked its way up from there. It could have been a chase movie on foot involving Tom Hardy's character and the people he's protected. Again, no spoilers. And from that moment onwards, there's another sequence towards the end, which is, again, all guns, a bit of hand-to-hand combat. In fact, there's a really good martial art sequence involving a female assassin character and Tom Hardy, which is really good. It's very short, but really good. And then we're back to gunplay again, and it's too quick, it's too brutal, it's really unrealistic, and it's kind of boring. I have to say, I'm rather disappointed in this film. The filmmaking prowess that Evan shows when it comes to action is, again, top rate. The best in the world right now. He's by far the best action director in the world when it comes to fight sequences. There's a couple of really cool, quirky moments in there as well that are reminiscent of the Raid films as well. But overall, I was rather disappointed by this film, and I really believe the storyline, which again is very convoluted, and it doesn't need to be. Just get to the action, just front load all the action, and then at the end you can have the payoff. Because honestly, the Raid one is the best example of how to shoot an action movie. I care about the character because I go through his journey. I know nothing about him really. There's a little sequence at the beginning of the Raid where he's praying and he's at home and he's got a wife, I believe she's pregnant. But then we just get on with the action, and I care about not just his character, but pretty much all the characters. You wonder about them. And at the end of the film, you wonder about where they've gone to after the film and why they were there and the relationships. Without having all the backstory and the dialogue, you still have this affinity with the characters. In this film, it's front-loaded with dialogue, front-loaded with pathos, and I just don't care. And when you get to the end sequence, which is disappointing as well, I still don't care. So, yeah, I would say this film is rather disappointing when it comes to storyline. Action is first rate. There's not much of it, but when it turns up, it is sensational. I really want him to make a full-on action film again, just from start to finish, non-stop. Maybe a John Wick film. Now, I don't want him to jump on a John Wick film, actually. I take that back. That's really kind of a boring suggestion. I'm an idiot for saying that. But yeah, anyway, listen, have you seen Havoc? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe. You guys are awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.